It's like every time I'm about to start a video, somebody's doing the laundry. But anyways, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a little different. Today we are going to be working on my workhorse. This is a 2004 Dodge Caravan, and it's just kind of been sitting under the tree because it is out of commission. I'm not entirely sure when this video is going to come out because I really don't want it to like mess up my algorithm. I don't think people are here to see a Dodge Caravan. They're here to see the Hondas and the builds and the restorations and all of the stuff that I do here on the channel regularly. But this is my workhorse. It overheated one day and the car just doesn't run well. So the other day I went out to put coolant in it, and all it did was suck coolant in and blow out smoke from the back while temperature was climbing H on the gauge. So I'm almost certain, I don't need to do any tests. I'm almost certain that this thing blew a head gasket, and it's got that smell. I don't know if you guys ever like driven a head gasket like so far gone that you get this distinctive smell. This car has that smell, and I'm not gonna waste any time doing tests. This thing needs a full maintenance anyways, as far as like, I mean, head gasket, water pump. I'm gonna change all that stuff in relations to cooling. So this is a 3.3 V6 style. I literally spent like weeks trying to find information on it. Couldn't find anything on the interweb that was very detailed. So I just searched up again right now, not realizing that a 2008 shares the same engine, and there's a full freaking video on how to change the head gasket, and it looks pretty straightforward. So today I'm gonna try to tackle it and hopefully get this workhorse back up and going. So I got the intake manifold and the plenum off the engine itself. I was kind of like skeptical about doing this head gasket job because I've never done a V series engine before. Like I didn't really think it thoroughly how a V engine worked, and I didn't really want to touch with the timing stuff. But after watching that video and realizing that the timing chain and stuff is not really connected to the head itself, I was like, all right, let's do this damn thing. So we have everything taken off right here: plenum, intake manifold, all the hose lines and everything that was attached, all the electrical connectors, the gasket that goes in between here, the little bracket that holds the gasket down. Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. So in the video, the guy said, you know, soak this up with some PB Blaster or WD-40 is all I got. These bolts right here tend to get stuck. Same with the exhaust, which actually applies to every car. I mean, exhaust system always get rusted out and then they get stuck. So we're gonna have to break those loose, as well as the ones in the back, which is gonna be a little tougher to get to, but I don't think it's gonna be that bad. But yeah, it's just that valve cover, and then it's the 15 mil head bolts that's underneath this cover that's going to release this head from the cylinder block. So just going to get right to it, get my gloves back on. Kind of want to go get something to drink. Maybe I'll go get something to drink. I'm kind of thirsty. I'm a ratchet. Taking off that first cylinder head was a breeze. Now the second one in the back without removing the cowl was pretty complicated, because this exhaust tubing right here that connects the front to the back or back to the front is still attached to the main exhaust system, and it was kind of hard to pry the exhaust manifold backward to get to the bolts in the back right here. But nonetheless, we do have the cylinder head removed, and this gasket is pretty nasty if you ask me. Holy crap. But if you look, there are a lot of missing, the black portion of the gasket is like missing off the head gasket. Now the other side didn't look too bad at all. Right here, if you look, well, actually no, it's pretty, it's not too bad, but definitely missing some material as well. Now normally when you have a blown head gasket, or at least I experience, is when water is getting into the chamber and it smokes out the tailpipe, it's actually steam cleaning the inside of the combustion chamber. And normally when a head gasket is the issue, your pistons will look a little cleaner, and they seem to be pretty, I mean, pretty even all around. Head gasket didn't look too shabby, but definitely we're here now. We're gonna change the gasket. I'm probably gonna buy a whole like gasket set for everything that I took apart here today. There's not much more I can do today because it is Sunday. Machine shop is closed. But what I am going to do right now is I'm going to clean up all of this stuff right here, and I'm going to flip the head upside down to see if I can just use my straight edge to see if the heads are warped or if they're off by any means, and get them ready for the machine shop tomorrow. I'm going to drop them off while we're already here. Drop them off, get them resurfaced, get them hot tanked. I'm going to clean the rest of this, and I think, just maybe, I'm not sure, we're going to be headed to David's house. All right guys, so Leo is now leaving. He just came here and picked up the rest of his stuff other than the dashboard, which is right here. He's going to come back later to get that another day. I dropped off the cylinder heads for the van at the shop like 3 hours ago, and they told me it's not going to be ready until tomorrow. But right now I am going to take off to David's to help him out with his bay that he's already started for a couple of hours. I did a lot of errands this morning, but I am ready to head over there, and we got to go. Let's go. So we are here at David's house, and he's actually gotten a ton done already. He's almost ready to primer pretty much. So the entire engine bay is all sanded down with, I believe he did a couple different grits. One to cut the paint quick, two to smooth it out, and it's an assortment of sandpaper, but everything is all sanded, scuffed. He touched literally every nook and cranny of the bay, and got the glass all taped up. He's going to do self-etch right now on all the bare metal areas, so that way the paint could stick. And then once the self-etch all dries up, he's going to hit it with the Rust-Oleum automotive primer and pretty much shoot the whole entire engine bay from the windshield all the way down to the front. So I'm gonna set you guys on a lap real quick, and let's get to work. So David just did 2 coats of the automotive primer, and he is letting it dry right now. He's going to go back over with the filler primer, because we're just going to use the filler primer to fill in the line scratches, areas that he didn't hit with the finer grit, but also the areas that he's going to sand down. We're not entirely sure what base coat and clear coat we're going to go with yet, but I told him that, you know, it's the engine bay. Not everybody's going to sit there and look at all the nooks and crannies. So if you're going to sand it, sand the areas you're going to see the most. All of the areas that is more visible to the eye, and don't worry too much about trying to sand in between all of that. Nobody's really going to look in there, but it's primered up. Gonna let it dry, do another layer of primer. But anyways, making progress. I'm really ready to see this thing get all like painted up with base coat and clear coat, so we can start moving into all the fun stuff of installing things. Oh, yeah. But before even all that, you are going to take care of all of this down here as well?
Yep.
Yeah. So obviously we're going to show you guys some progress along the way. Not entirely sure what else we're going to do in this video because sun's already gone down. And let's put some more primer on.
Oh my
God.
God.
I need to go get that light right there from Costco, dude. 2 for $30, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go copy that. That thing is bright as hell.
And they're rechargeable?
And they're rechargeable?
Yeah.
They got modes too?
Yeah, 3 settings.
3 settings, dude. This is that last coat of primer right there.
Able to check, yeah, just the shock towers, I think.
Give it that nice layer for that sanding tomorrow. We are on day 3 of this video, guys. We got a bunch of parts for the van right here, and I'm about to head back to the machine shop to pick up the cylinder heads so we can finish up the van and hopefully get it started today. Intake manifold gasket, thermostat and gasket, left and right hand head bolts, valve cover gasket, water pump, spark plugs, left and right head gaskets, and coolant. Power steering reservoir was kind of tilted over overnight, and there's a bunch of power steering fluid just kind of caked up on top of the transmission. So I got some oven cleaner sprayed all around the area just to make it look a little bit more cleaner. A lot of coolant and stuff leaked onto the block when I pulled the heads off, so I'm letting that eat up real quick, and then I'm going to wash it down with water. We got the cylinder heads both back from the machine shop. They are freaking identical. I don't remember which one's left, which one is right. I'm gonna have to do some research to identify both cylinder heads, but they are both back. They are both resurfaced. Now I do regret one thing. I definitely do regret not changing the valve seals because they didn't have valve seals in stock and I didn't know where to get them. So I told them to not change it because I don't think the valve seals were bad anyways. But now that I've done this job, I mean, it's pretty straightforward if I have to change the valve seals later down the road. I'm not too worried about it. So the only thing I forgot to buy from the parts store was spark plug wires. But like I said, the car didn't really misfire or anything like that. I'm just changing all the stuff while I'm at it, and spark plug wires are literally right on top of the engine, easy accessible, so I'm not worried about not changing it as of right now. We're just going to use the old one. I also forgot to buy oil, which didn't even cross my mind, but I'm probably going to grab some oil from like Walmart or something, go to Walmart later, get some cat food and all that jazz. But we're almost ready to reverse the process and get these cylinder heads back in. I hope I got all the gaskets I need that I took out, and all of the exhaust gaskets. I mean, they aren't broken, they aren't ripped, and there's only one that I really took off. So hopefully I have everything I need here, so I don't have to run to the parts store again. But let's wash this motor down. So I had to do a quick little flush on the radiator and the lower hoses, our upper hoses as well, to clear out all of the orange nastiness inside of the engine. The water pump is out, and yeah, it's pretty rusted up. There's some rusted gunk and stuff on here, pretty nasty. I am going to be reusing the same pulley. It just comes off like that. So this is a little tricky when it's inside of the car because this is wedged up against the frame rail, and what you have to do is you got to take off the 3 bolts that's holding the pulley to the pump, and then this is just going to dangle around, but it allows you to move it around to access these 10 mil bolts right here that holds the water pump to the engine itself. And then you have to loosen up the motor mounts right here to drop the engine a little bit so we can shimmy the water pump out of the frame rail, and we have it out. The new one is right here, and we also have a new gasket for it. So I'm about ready to put the cylinder heads on, and I've actually been, so I'm ready to put the cylinder head on, but I've actually been, so I'm ready to put the cylinder heads on, and I've been so confused about which cylinder head is the back, which cylinder head is the front. I did etch it right here, FR for front, and I don't, it's not there anymore. So I can't determine which one is front, which one is rear, but the heads are literally, I compared it, 100% identical. It is exactly the same. So I don't think it even matters which side, which head goes on which side. So I don't think it really matters. So I don't really think it matters which, so I don't think it really matters which head goes on what part of the engine, but I am trying to keep it specific. Now I'm looking at this, there doesn't seem to be any type of like adjustment like a B series motor. So I don't think this matters as well as far as like adjusting your valve goes, obviously. But I do know that on the rear cylinder head, I was prying on the rocker assembly to pull the exhaust manifold out of the way to access these bottom bolts. And if you look, you can see all those scratches that I put on here from prying on the rocker. So I'm almost certain that this is the rear head and this is the front. I watched some videos, I watched the same videos of doing head gasket on a 3.3, and I noticed that in the newer, I noticed that in the 2008 Caravan, the EGR is actually on the back of the head. And on this car, I didn't even take note, but on this car, the EGR is in the front cylinder head. So I got that installed, got the spark plugs installed, because the rear one's kind of complicated inside the car. We don't have as much space as the 2008 does, but I put these all in beforehand so we don't struggle with them. And pretty much it's ready to go. I cleaned the bottom side, going to clean it again. Already cleaned the surfaces here and ran brake. I got to clean these a little bit for new gasket maker, but cylinder heads are pretty much clean and ready to go. Everything's kind of sort of out of the way. I do have to hit the shield a little bit because this was tough to get the bolts to go in and out. On this side, I was able to move the shield out of the way, so the bolts came in and out no problem. But because I don't know where this is held on, yeah, it's a bunch of little bolts right here, and I don't want to risk trying to break them. So I'm gonna bang that in a little bit. I'm gonna put a bolt in here beforehand, and let's get this head installed. What the fuck? What the fuck, dog? Holy shit! Damn Jiffy Lube, dude. All right, guys, so adding the coolant is literally the last thing before we turn this car on, and I'm kind of nervous, to be honest with you guys, but I just did a once over the engine bay and made sure everything is attached and everything that I pulled off is back on the car, with the exception of one bracket. This bracket, I don't remember where it came from or where it went, but I don't have the bolt or the nut for it, so not entirely sure. It's just a bracket, not a big deal, but we are pretty much buttoned up here in the bay and I am ready to turn this car on. I did power it up earlier, but I didn't fire it yet because I want to make sure I had coolant in it. I just kind of rolled the window down just so we can get some breeze through the car, because it's kind of been sitting for a cool little minute. So I'm about ready to turn this thing on, boy. This is gonna be the first start. All right, a lot of lights on the dash. Got a check engine light as well. But here we go. Not entirely sure what that's for, but we did take out a ton of sensors and plugs and stuff when we took the heads off the car. The car sounds good. It's alive. And we don't have any leaks. That's good. So I guess all I'm doing right now is let the car cycle through, let the coolant drain down, let the heat get hot, and see if this car overheats, and we'll take it for a drive after. But it turned on, sounds good. Gotta find my OBD2 scanner, figure out what the check-in light's for. So P0113 intake air temperature sensor, second code, same thing. Huh, could have sworn I plugged it in. Never mind. I'll tell you guys one thing though, the heater is definitely hot again, because for a long time this thing would be hot and then it'd be cold forever, and then it'd be hot for a split and it'd be cold again. But it is freaking hot as hell right now. Hell yeah. Check engine light's gone. I'm gonna let this thing warm up a little bit, and like I said, go for a spin around the block. Man, I cannot wait to drive this thing again. I kind of been putting off to the junkyard because I don't really take my car over there, because I got it broken into before. But my junkyard, my parts hauler, about to be back up on the road. All right. Oh, look at all that dirt, baby. Let's go. All right, well, I am ready for this drive. It's been about a month that I've driven the van. The car has been idling for about 20 minutes, and temperature's holding, baby. Let's go. It feels so good to drive this van again. I'm not gonna lie to you. Temperature's holding, boys. Now, when I first drove this van, it would overheat like 5 minutes, and so far it's holding the temperature. That's freaking awesome. That white cat's always in my backyard. Wow, this feels really good. Really good. Yes, sir. It deserves a car wash. Let's go. Although I'm not going to show you guys me cleaning the car, washing it, and all that good jazz, this is going to be the end of the video, guys. I kind of baited y'all a little bit with the CRX stuff, but kind of went over there to help David anyways, and the van is officially back in action. I can go to the junkyard now. I can go to places without worrying about my car sitting out of my sight. Guys, don't neglect your maintenance. I knew the car wasn't giving out heat in the heater system and all that, and I just didn't really like dug into it to really figure out why it was doing that. But I also thought that it might have had like maybe a clogged heater core or something. But after doing some research, a lot of the symptoms point to a head gasket, but also a lot of it point to the water pump. So we just went ahead and did the whole entire 9, and the van seems to be working great. And now I can knock all that out of the maintenance list, and the van is pretty much ready to rock and roll again. So before we close out this video though, I am going to open up these 2 packages that I got from the PO box 2 days ago, and let's see what's inside. Hopefully you guys can see me well here. Being the GoPro Hero 8, it doesn't have the screen in the front, so I can't really see the frame that I'm sitting in. But first package is from Chris V from Fremont, California, which is only like 20 minutes from me. Pretty light. First things first, it says, "What's up, Dana? Big fan of the channel. Keep up the good work. Since you wear beanies a lot, got you a beanie that represents your culture. You can also check out our website at shopkmylife.com." You know, if this is the Kmy Life website from back in the days, I was on there pretty active. Kmy Life website has kind of changed a little bit, and I kind of fell off of it, but shop.kmylife.com. You know, I love the stretchy ones, and I like the ones that fit big heads. So we got pretty much a Kmy Life official beanie. This is perfect for the winter, although I wear it year round. Thank you, Chris, for this, man. If you guys want to support the culture, shop.kmylife.com. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Second package right here is from Initial HP out of Houston, Texas. Also pretty light. No freaking way. Got a note right here that says, "Hi, Young Static. Started watching your channel during the COVID-19 pandemic. Enjoy watching your channel bring all these classic CRX back to life. I myself have a 91 CRX Tahitian Green Pearl all stock, super rare color, one of the best colors. Just fixing little things here and there. Noticed that my rear tail lights was filled with water last week, so I decided to make my own rear gaskets. Bought the same exact material on Amazon, and I think I bought too much. Here are 3 sets. Hopefully it will help you on your next 3 CRX build. P.S. I also made some rear cargo latch from wood. Not perfect, but I think they are sturdier than the 3D printed plastics. Here are 2 sets. Rear tail light gaskets, guys. Now you guys already know Resto Tuners is my go-to for new gaskets. If you guys are DIYers and trying to save money, obviously you can make it yourself like this gentleman here. But thank you for the 3 sets. 1, 2, and 3. These are for the center garnish, and these are for the outers. 1, 2, 3. And these are the rear cargo latch, which I am assuming goes on the front portion of the cargo cover itself, because it latches to the quarter panel. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the maintenance work on the parts hauler, junkyard hauler, my Dodge Caravan, and if you guys also enjoy David putting some progress work into his CRX, I will definitely record more content with him when he has time to work on it again. Be sure to leave this video a thumbs up, and if you guys want to stick around for the cut and polish of the HF CRX, but actually I also schedule a tune appointment with this car on the dyno with REDZONE. If you guys want to stick around and see either or, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.